Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. Race number 8 at Monmouth Park is the co-feature on a Saturday afternoon card. It's the Grade 3 Violet Stakes for fillies and mares going 1 1/8 on the turf. Bet this card with a DRF Bets account. You won't be disappointed because when you sign up, you get 10 times the bonus at drf.com/bet. Let's meet the fillies and mares getting set to go 9 furlongs in race number 8 at Monmouth on Saturday. Your morning line favorite is the number 7, Elysia's World, winner of the Grade 3 Matchmaker over course and distance most recently, and beat 3 of these foes. She got a good setup.
Yeah, she certainly did. She got some pace to run at that day, and to be fair, she was really the only one doing any real running from the back of the pack, and you've already had some success come out of that. The last place finisher was the next out winner with an 84 buyer. You and I have probably been a little bit harsh as far as describing Elysia's World throughout the past anyway, with her career, and saying that we don't love her and we think that, you know, she can be had on certain occasions. Having said that, if she runs back to the Matchmaker, she's simply the best horse in this race.
Oh, I agree, and she's going to get a right pace set up in this spot again. Chad's managed her right now. I think he's given up on saying, listen, she's a Grade 2, Grade 1 filly. She's going to run in these Grade 3s. She's got to get 1 1/8. That's probably her best spot. And if she catches the right field, a Dream-A-While field like the Swanee River or the Matchmaker, she's going to fire her best shot. I want to see what the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector has to say about this race, because the number 5, Bishop's Pond, is a new shooter. We did not see her last time out in the Matchmaker. Now, Bishop's Pond began her career on the turf. She's been most recently campaigning on the dirt. She's probably equally good on each surface. If you're a lead change fan, you're not a Bishop's Pond fan.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I agree with the fact that she's probably equal on each surface. And the problem for her, or anybody backing her, I don't know that that's good enough to win in a spot like this. And that's not even saying that you need, or if you get Elysia's World's best race, she's certainly not good enough. If you get Elysia's World's probably B game, I still don't know if Bishop's Pond has it in her to defeat a horse like that. You know that she'll be forwardly placed on this stretch out, going from the dirt to the turf. But to be honest with you, I haven't seen her recently that makes her a competitor anymore.
But I agree with this pace projector. I think Paco Lopez is going to be very aggressive to get to the front. I don't think he's too worried about Viva Vegas, who set the pace in the Matchmaker. I understand what Kendrick Carmouche was trying to do. He tried to win the race late on the backstretch and open up on that field, sort of Fahan Moura style, and it didn't work out for Viva Vegas, who's kind of stuck now in that mid to high 80 buyer range. That's just not going to get it done in this graded stakes.
No, sometimes that's what it really just boils down to. When you can look at it and say, oh, well, you know, from a tactics standpoint, she's going to be forward, she'll get the jump and X, Y, and Z. If you're not fast enough, you're not fast enough. And really, I think that's kind of the point that we've gotten to with Viva Vegas, where an 86 buyer is probably not going to be good enough to win.
Special events been knocking on the door in her last few races for Shug McGahee, and she's so lightly raced that it's possible she has a forward move. At first watch, I was disappointed in the Matchmaker because she sat off the pace of Viva Vegas, and I know they were going a pretty good clip, but I really thought she would go right by Viva Vegas and instead looked outpaced on the turn and was just able to get up for third in the shadow of the wire over Viva Vegas. Perhaps what she needs is a more patient ride, and that is to be taken back and given one run. I think there's something here for Shug McGahee. The price will be okay, but that Matchmaker just sticks in my craw.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I'll be proven wrong here, but there's a part of me that wonders if she's actually better going slightly shorter distances than this 1 1/8 trip. I wonder if she's best suited for 1 mile to 1 1/16, because again, it just seemed like she really never had any real punch at any point during that run, and she had a pretty good trip, all things considered.
I was salivating at the opportunity to bet the number 6 Lift Up in the Grade 3 Matchmaker. I made her an out-of-the-gate best bet that day. She got bet down to 7-2, and she did no running whatsoever. It was baffling to me. She was last early. There was a little bit of pace, and she just really never picked up her feet. It was her first start off a little bit of a layoff, but I expected a lot more. I'm off her now, which means saddle her up for the winner's circle.
Second off the bench, I think you're going to get a better effort out of her. I agree. I was disappointed that she never kicked, and that was really the sort of the thing that made me interested in her as well, coming out of that Ms. Liberty, where she kicked home like a freight train, and I kind of was a little bit disappointed. Where was that in the Matchmaker? Now, perhaps it was facing better horses, but I have a feeling, keep in mind, she was entered in a couple different spots and they didn't end up going. She was gone for almost 2 months at that point. I wonder if it was an instance where, you know what, she needed a race and now you're going to get a forward move. If you do, she can at least be a fringe contender.
Arnaud Delacour has entered 2 in here. The 3 Care Lady Group 1 winner and native Argentina returned off a lengthy layoff and a quality optional claimer at Saratoga. And while she got a good trip, she had every reason to get tired. It was her first start in a long time. Delacour showing some confidence, hiking her up in class, second off the bench.
And she should be tighter this time around. I know Timeform had all of those pace situations and the pace ratings color-coded blue, meaning they were slow. But again, we hadn't seen her since the beginning of December 2017. You're right. She had every right to get tired there. Now, second off the bench, I'd expect a forward move.
Celestial Insight could easily win this race if she goes here. She is also cross-entered at Kentucky Downs on Saturday. Just consider she was bet down to 3-1 against Daddy's Little Darling most recently in the Grade 3 Modesty. And while she didn't run her best race that day, another one of the also-rans has already come back to win a stakes race up at Woodbine with a 91 Beyer speed figure. Celestial Insight is capable of running Beyer speed figures in the 90s. She's fits at the graded stakes level, and she has enough tactical speed to work out a trip.
Yeah, she's far from impossible in a spot like this. I don't love her, but I can understand anyone that looks at her and says she has a little bit of tactical ability. She doesn't have to come from 100 out of it. She faced better horses in that Modesty, most notably Daddy's Little Darling. If you go to that run 2 starts back, though, I guess I kind of look at it. I know she had been gone for a long time. It was her first start off of a layoff. I didn't love that field that she ran against. Those are horses that are sort of in that listed sort of level. And unfortunately for her, if that is what her best game is right now, I still don't know that's good enough.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 3 Violet Stakes. You're going with the other Delacour runner, the 2 Armoire. This is a Virginia bred. Really liked her performance 2 starts back going a flat mile where she just angled 4 wide and kicked home with some gusto, earning a low 90 Beyer speed figure. Last time out, she got wired by Broken Bridle. There just wasn't a lot of pace. And I think Daniel Centeno didn't give the pace setter enough respect.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. You know, I think it's an instance where that horse got out there, and I know you can make the case that Armoire had every opportunity to go by, but the fractions were so slow. And look, Broken Bridle's a decent little horse. It's not like she's a world beater, but at the same time, give her an inch, she'll take a mile. I thought it was a fine enough effort, especially if you just want to say that she needed a race, and now second off the bench, you're going to get a forward move here for Delacour. I think it's a positive move that they continue on and they move into a graded stakes race with her. And again, you brought up sort of the ability to work at a decent enough trip in here. I think there's a scenario where she sits the pocket and maybe she can get first run on a horse like Elysia's World. Look, if Elysia's World runs back to the matchmaker, she's probably just going to win. But I think Armoire at a middling number is interesting as an alternative.
But she is very consistent. 9 of 11 on the board. Think she works out a good trip. Think she's better than that last race and goes second off the layoff. Give me numbers.
2-7-5-6.
I'm going 7-4-5-2. Never been the biggest Elysia's World fan, as Matt alluded to earlier on in the show. But as we talked to before we even came on the air, this is the kind of field she has to beat if she's going to continue to be sort of a middling Grade 3 type. She's 5-2 on the morning line. I think she'll be something to 5 at post time, and I wouldn't want to touch her at that price. At 5-2, I could take a shot with Elysia's World. I'll go 7-4-5-2 in the Grade 3 Violet, one of 2 graded stakes races on tap on the Jersey Shore on Saturday. Bet them both with a DRF Bets account and 10 times the sign-up bonus. DRF.com/bet is where you need to go for more details. Approximate post time for the Grade 3 Violet, 4:09 Eastern. Good luck.